Hello everyone! As I was brushing my teeth to go to bed last night, I look on Twitter and there is this announcement, well, not really an official announcement, but a sort of leaked or predicted announcement or whatever of an animated Crisis on Infinite Earths trilogy. Now this tweet is from Matthias Lertora, who is a film journalist from Argentina, but we also have this translation from Yojimbo of DCAU Resource. It says, an animated trilogy is coming up, adaptation of Crisis on Infinite Earths. It would be announced next year and they would go on sale and digital platforms in 2023, 2024. All of DC's animated universes are expected to join. So as kind of a validity check for this, Matthias kind of leaked info. I hate using the word leaked, but I don't know what else to call this. He put info out there about the Batman 89 and Superman 78 comics about 6 months before DC officially announced them. So that's what everyone's pointing to with like, this guy knows what he's talking about. This is gonna happen, that kind of stuff. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. We don't really know anything yet, but if this is true, this is huge. Back in May, Ted did a review of the JSA World War II movie where he talked about how, spoilers, that movie has a decent amount to do with alternate universes, and we keep getting appearances of the Psycho Pirate, who is big in DC multiverse crisis shenanigans. Ted kind of went out there and predicted that maybe this JSA movie would lead to an animated Crisis on Infinite Earths. You even see Ted's Crisis collection there in the back behind him. So if this is coming off of JSA, is this trilogy of movies going to be in that art style? Like the way Superman Man of Tomorrow looked, Batman Long Halloween, that kind of thing? Is that going to be the all-encompassing art style for all of the universes that appear? Or are we going to see each universe in its respective art style? Or I'll throw a shout out to Super Swim Team 7. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel too, who brought up that maybe this will be like a Jimmy Timmy Power Hour situation where everyone changes art styles depending on which universe they're in. I think that would be a really cool way to do it. It's the same kind of way they did the Fairly Odd Parents special where they were going to different TV channels. You remember what I'm talking about, right? I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. Because like as cool as it is to see all the different art styles side by side, I want to see Teen Titans Robin in DCAU style. I want to see the DCAU Justice League hop over to the DCAMU and suddenly be way more detailed. That kind of stuff. They did just do something like this with the Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans movie with the Titans of Infinite Earths. But with this, who knows how many different universes we'll see. It says all of them, but that's a lot. That would be everything from Fleischer Superman to like the Super Friends Filmation era. There's the 80s stuff like Swamp Thing, Ruby Spears Superman. Then you got the DCAU, Batman Superman, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Static Shock, Zeta Project, everything. All the other ones from the 2000s, Teen Titans, The Batman, Brave and the Bold, Crypto the Superdog, Legion of Superheroes, onto Beware the Batman and Green Lantern, the animated series, the DC animated movie universe, Young Justice, Teen Titans Go, of course, and then all the kind of more recent stuff like Justice League Action and Harley Quinn, DC Superhero Girls, and not to mention all the other like individual movies that weren't DCAMU, like Wonder Woman and New Frontier and all of that stuff. There's way too many DC animated universes. I don't know if they would have the budget or resources to create something like that. I kind of have a feeling it might just be limited to a handful of like big recognizable ones, which I would hope and think would include the DCAU, Justice League Unlimited and Batman Beyond and that stuff, and probably Teen Titans, Brave and the Bold, the ones that are a lot more like householdly known, Super Friends. You hear me, David Gallagher? I'm talking about Super Friends. But it'd also be interesting to see who's involved with this because James Tucker and Bruce Timm are going to both be on the Batman Caped Crusader animated series. I'm sure that's taking up a lot of their time, and it will be interesting to see how many things from the original comic are retained for this. Characters like Pariah, Harbinger, Alexander Luthor are all very like distinct in this comic, and we did get the Anti-Monitor in Green Lantern the animated series. He had a different origin, but that's ready to be used. There's all these assets floating around that could make this a little bit easier to handle, but it would definitely be kind of a coin toss of whether this is going to be like a direct adaptation, just swapping out animated universes for the comic book universes, because as I understand it, this comic existed in the first place to kind of bring all the different DC Earths together into one, or at least a much shorter, less complicated list than they had before. So I don't know what kind of lasting effects this might have on all of these different universes. Like imagine trying to squash together like Teen Titans Go and Batman Ninja into one universe. The CW just did this a couple years ago. It was a huge deal. Mr. Aaron. The baby would not be quiet, so he's in my lap now. He's part of this video. I think DC and WB know what they have. The animation side of DC stuff has always been the best thing going for it, and especially with all this Spider-Man stuff happening lately, I think this might be kind of an answer to that, though who knows how long it's been in development or planned. This kind of comparison has been made already with Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans ending with kind of an Endgame Portal situation when they had storyboards for that like long before Endgame was even a thing. These kinds of concepts just overlap in comic books and sci-fi all the time. Nobody's necessarily purposely stealing from anybody else. It's just kind of gonna happen. Parallel thinking. One of the best DC animated movies was Crisis on Two Earths, though that was written by the late Dwayne McDuffie, so it's gonna be interesting to see if they can kind of keep up with that level of quality with this. There's a lot riding on this, I guess. People will get their hopes up for what this could be. It literally has the word infinite in it. It could be huge. It could fall flat on its face. I am not one to predict failure ahead of time. I am very much looking forward to this and hoping that it is really cool. I do wonder if this will tie in any way to Justice League Infinity because they're dealing with multiverse stuff in that, but I kind of doubt it. Again, it may just be kind of a zeitgeist thing right now to weigh heavily on multiverses. What I do hope is that this brings us closer to the possibility of a resurgence of Justice League Gods and Monsters. That movie ended with Lex Luthor, Metron, whatever, talking about going to different universes, and there was already artwork and scripts planned for a season 2. We've got videos about that on the channel. Go check them out. We also did a fan trailer a couple years ago for a Crisis on Infinite Earths animated movie. Please go watch that if you haven't seen it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of comments of like, oh, I wish this was a real thing. Maybe now it is going to be a real thing. Maybe not exactly like this, of course, but you know what I'm saying. We also have a video coming out in a couple months that covers the entire DCAU multiverse. Every other animated universe that the DCAU touches on like a multiverse map, and we've had videos coming out recently that are teasing that at the end. Our Harley Quinn origin video, the Freddy vs. Jason timeline, the Starro video a couple weeks ago, and then at least one more coming up. Almost done, sir. And lastly, we just shared art on our Twitter. Go follow us at DCAU Watchtower. This is by Robert Pope from 2004. He's a DC animation tie-in comic artist. This is just a fun piece that I'm sure I'll use in the thumbnail of this. But anyway, thanks for checking out this video. We don't really know anything so far, but we'll keep you posted when we do know more stuff. Subscribe so you don't miss out on that or upcoming news about Cape Crusader or anything else DC animated that's big and involving a lot of cool things. We're gonna talk about it, and just videos all the time, okay? That's it. Say bye, Aaron. Bye. He said bye. Subscribe.